German power, they controlled a huge stretch of territory and enormous economic resources in Eastern Europe. So it wasn't a foregone conclusion just looking at total population under control of the different sizes. It wasn't necessarily a foregone conclusion, just in terms of numbers. And Overy goes through a variety of factors that led to the Allied victory. And we won't sort of cover them all here. A lot of them are kind of detailed things. But one of the things he suggests is just toward the end, one of the factors that the Allies had on their side was simply a consciousness that they were in the right and that they were fighting evil. And even in the case of Germany, I mean, a lot of Germans were aware that this was pretty wrong. They were doing something pretty bad. A lot of people in the Soviet Union, who might not have been entirely enthusiastic about Stalin when he saw relatives disappear into the Gulag, nonetheless knew that they were up against, however bad Stalin was, they were up against something worse and were willing to fight on that. So this moral factor, a strong sense of being in the right and rallying the whole world to combat a pretty clear instance of evil, was not the most important thing. It was far down the list, but an important factor in this victory. And just to remind us that, you know, we live in times where we certainly have not had violence amounting to nothing, but just a reminder, again, of some of what Stephen Pinker tells us, that particularly compared to this period of extreme violence and warfare and also extreme persecution of individual groups, whether on the basis of social class or on the basis of race, ethnicity, compared to this, things have been, on average, getting better. Here's just military personnel in the United States and Europe, going from 1950 on. You see a steady downward trend. The U.S. in the 1950s, in Cold War, enormous military forces, and a general downward trend. The bump up there, that's Vietnam and Saigon. You have the decline in conscription among major countries. So countries that have a draft are less and less requiring soldiers to serve. You do, however, find some disturbing exceptions here. So I don't want to suggest everything is sort of peachy keen. For example, this is just fatalities in terror attacks worldwide. And you see there is something happening. There's probably an increase in terrorist attacks from the 80s onward, and particularly perhaps in the last few years going up some. This is a very localized thing, however. So this is just data for 2013. That's the most recent I know. This is terror attacks around the world, and overwhelmingly, you can see that this is concentrated in areas. There's a particular problem nowadays, clearly within the Muslim world. The Muslim world in particular is going through some pretty tough times. And for that one part of the world, things are in some respects worse than they were several decades ago. So the trend for the world as a whole is, so far, keep your fingers crossed, but a fairly positive one. There is, however, things may die down in another couple of decades or so, but there is, for one part of the world, exceptionally high levels of terror attacks. So the great majority of these attacks that have taken place associated with one particular culture and civilization, which, again, not to in any way belittle this. This is tough times that people are going through here, but it's the general trend worldwide, nonetheless. It's in that direction. So human beings then, we start off with a very simple model of violence, and evolution can promote violence, but in a species that can enforce moral rules, can adopt ideals and actually make members of society conform to those ideals, to guide them toward conforming, punish them if they don't, there's the potential for escaping from some of the level of violence that you see in a lot of other species. And on balance, on the whole, it looks like, outside of the paper, we probably are heading toward a less violent world. That's probabilistically, fingers crossed, the dice don't roll the wrong way. The dice are getting, the odds are getting. That's about all I have to say. I'm here to do a review session, and well, if there are any questions about the lecture or that kind of thing, I can talk about those. And then I'm also here, we've got 3 different study guides, and sort of a bunch of class material going all the way back to the beginning, stuff that's not clear, stuff you want to talk about. So that's what I'm here for.
You allowed me to